Nelly claims that his hip-hop era was the toughest ever. Nelly asserts that, at least in terms of one measure, the hip-hop era from which he emerged is still the toughest ever. The St. Louis rap veteran discussed his breakout success in the 2000s and the difficulties he encountered attempting to separate out in a crowded market full of legitimate talents during an interview on LeBron James' The Shop. Speaking on the Grammy Awards' inconsistent performance in giving rappers recognition, he declared, "Country Grammar sold 5 million copies, and I wasn't even nominated for Best New Artist. Since my CD was released in 2000, I was not even considered for the election. The wonderful, gifted, and deserved Miss Alicia Keys was awarded in 2001, and she ought to have prevailed." Subsequently, he acknowledged that, as a St. Louis native, he had a grudge toward larger places like New York, Los Angeles, and Atlanta that were at the forefront of hip-hop at the time. "You have to realize that my musical era was the hardest hip-hop era ever," he exclaimed. "I had to compete with DMX, Jay-Z, Eminem, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, and Luda when I released songs. We're all vying for the same slot. That makes the years 1,999,210 the difficult-to-obtain records during." Nelly's opinion is similar to that of another rap legend, Styles P., who once asserted that hip-hop isn't as cutthroat as it once was. The Lox lyricist used basketball scoring comparisons to illustrate his argument when speaking about the lack of friendly sparring among contemporary rappers in an interview with former NBA player-turned-commentator Jalen Rose last year. He said, "I feel like that's another difference between hip-hop then and hip-hop now. They're not competitive enough against each other. It should be business when you get on a track with someone, in my opinion. You should try to air things out with someone when you enter the studio with them. You should be attempting to drop a triple-double, not making fun of them." In addition, he said, "I think that sense of competitiveness has somewhat vanished. If they're going to drop a double-double, you want to make sure you drop a triple-double." Nelly continues to have a significant influence on the rap scene even though his output has decreased since the 2000s, when his career peaked. The Ride With Me hitmaker was, Chance the Rapper half-jokingly declared last year, the most important country star of our time, and he wanted to work with him. The Chicago native said, "You know what?" when questioned about maybe performing country music on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. "If I could do it with the great Nelly, who I believe to be the most significant country star of our time, I would. He is a truly gifted artist. I recall that I used to listen to Hot in Hair, which is obviously a country song because he made it. As well, he has a few timeless country hits. It's funny, I just saw Chance out in Vegas," Nelly said to Entertainment Tonight, expressing her openness to the notion of collaborating with Chance. "We discussed it. He is sincere, and we will work to make it happen."